In today's news, Tanzanian female MCs or femcs are fed up with unequal representation in this male dominated hip hop world, and they are using their music to fight back. These female MCs represent under 12% of the hip hop MCs, and it is due to the barriers that are placed on them, the social constructs not allowing them to embrace their sexuality and making them conform to what the males want them to say and do, and they are tired of it. These females are taking back their power. They understand that the U.S. women in hip hop have faced the same struggles, but because of cultural aspects in Tanzania, these women are placed under more severe barriers, and they are ready to use their power to come against these social constructs and to come against gender inequality, and they are having a difficult time pushing their agenda because the males are pressing back, but they are standing their ground.
Such a compelling argument by the author who sheds light on this hip-hop outrage in Tanzania. There were so many high points of the argument, just like the women in the U.S. who are fed up with the situation. They would like to be heard, not seen as sex symbols. They would like their lyrics to speak for themselves, not their bodies to be used in a misogynist way. While it seems that the world only wants to see them scantily clad for the pleasure of the male viewers in hip-hop, these women have stood up and they're taking ground and they're saying not anymore. They want to be heard. They want their music to be heard and listened to, not to be seen as a sex symbol for the pleasure of the male viewer or anyone else. Thank you.
The article, Black Women and Black Men in the Hip-Hop Music, Misogyny, Violence, and the Negotiation of the White-Owned Space. This article is an analysis of where hip-hop started to where it's at. Hip-hop started in the 1970s. It originated in the South Bronx, where rappers would talk about political views, economical strife, and social issues, to now where artists mainly talk about sex, drugs, and violence. So where do women fit in? There's not longevity for women in this industry. A lot of women rappers, they model themselves after the men. They talk about what the men want to hear. They try to please the men crowd. So they talk about helping the men further their career, whether it's in drugs or whatever they're doing, instead of talking about their own social issues and their own personal issues. Really, women, they're over-sexualized in the music industry or the hip-hop industry, and they talk about twerking or getting money hustling, and a lot of them are labeled either as a dyke or
a girl rapper has to be soft but hard, sweet but serious, sexy but respectable, strong but kind of weak, smart but not too loud about it. A hip-hop girl, like a regular girl, has got to mix her own ingredients carefully. I felt like that's out like anybody that wants to be a rapper, a woman that wants to be a rapper, they don't have to be claimed as a gold digger. They don't have to be claimed as, someone that a white man views them at. They can't be loud, they can't do all this extra stuff. Like, no, we can be ourselves. And for the black man, it says stuff about how black men are the endangered black men. They portrayed as the gangsters or the hard guys just to get the white man's money or just to get marketing, because sex sells, violence sells, and that's not the way that every black person lives, and that's how black people are seen.
Hello. In today's news, I'm bringing to the attention to the world the article, Are Real Women Just Bad Porn? Women in Nigerian Hip-Hop Culture. According to the article, the author digs deep into detail on two important concepts, one known as interculturation and the other transculturation, which basically, just to give you a brief summary, are just two concepts that go over the formation of a new culture based on encounters from multiple cultures interacting together, which has to do with, is it okay for artists to display women in this misogynistic sexual way, not to view women as just women, but to view women as objects in order just to increase their social status? Is that fine? Because in today's society, that's what's passing for fame. That's what's passing for popularity. That's what's giving these artists these outlets to have a career in music. to display women in this way because that's what the audience wants to hear. And here in the US, due to commercial hip hop, our message that this is okay is spreading to countries outside of the US, and it's just an ongoing process and a socialization process that's leading to only more notion that it's okay to view women this way. And if kids are viewing women this way, then the whole world will get to a point where this is just normal, and this should not be a social norm. Thank you.